So, Facebook and the individuals that sit and everything else on Facebook, you never know who's in fact who on Facebook, as in the reason of why and more. Like, subscribe, ID in the Discovery Channel. Yes, ID in the Discovery Channel. The links are provided below. Get that Discovery Go app as well as that ID Go app. You might want to get those two things, combine them, make them into one. And I'm a Discovery influencer. That's indeed correct. I'm in fact a Discovery influencer. So, a man on Facebook acted as a dead woman on Facebook after killing the woman. Yes, he killed her and then acted as if he was her. He said communicating with family members on Facebook, acting as if he was the dead woman, talking to the family members. He also used her cell phone to speak to family members of the woman he killed. Isn't that strange and odd? I'm saying what people do, even on Facebook. When I made the video about Facebook Live and individuals being killed and everything else live on Facebook, that's a distraction all its own. Sitting on Facebook Live and next thing you know something happens, like a murder or something like that. But for an individual to, it's like a sick mind or something, to sit on Facebook and say kill somebody's family member, right? And then act as if you are that person that you indeed, yes. So Jamie Feeden was the victim, 33 years old, as 39-year-old John Matthew Chapman is and was her killer, who confessed to killing her. Chapman lured Jamie by lying to her, saying they were to go to a photo shoot in Nevada, in the desert, right? He lied to her, telling her they were going on vacation. He in fact lured her, right? There has to be more to even that, right? Again, Chapman used the photo shoot as a way to kill her. Chapman abused her, Feeden, before her death. He abused her before her death, right? By binding her to a sign, and then he covered both her mouth and her nose with duct tape. He covered her mouth and her nose with duct tape. Feeden died by ways of suffocation. His victim, in fact, yes, she died by ways of suffocation. And after she died, Chapman then took off her clothes as well as took off the bindings. He then left and proceeded to go home. Not left and proceeded to go home, but he proceeded to drive back home to his location of residence, right? That being Pennsylvania. To take off her clothes after you killed her is to ask, what is the reason for that? You take off her, yes, disturbance of evidence. I was going to say a disturbance, because even his mind set shows disturbia or something, right? To take off her clothes after killing her and then take off her bindings, that points in with, yes, messing with evidence, right? So, false identity, this is in fact where it all gets interesting. His identity, to be exact, right? So then Chapman went on to act as if he was she, the victim, in fact, that he murdered, right? He acted as her despite her being dead. He signed onto her Facebook account on the messenger and contacted her family. He used her phone as well, and I stated even that in the opening, right? So family felt something was wrong. They then contacted authorities and reported her missing on November 14th. That was 2 months after her family had seen her. 2 months after. 2 months after her family had seen her is when they reported her missing. Reported her missing on November 14th, right? 2 months is a long time, isn't it? Dear viewers, leave a comment in the comment section. let me know what you think and feel about the video. But 2 months to see somebody, because even then you have to question how close even they were as family members. For somebody to say go missing, right? You haven't seen them for 2 months, right? Just once again to question the relationship, the distance, trustworthiness between family members, and all the rest, right? An unidentified body was found in October. That information is from the Nevada coroner's office. That unidentified body was a match to feeding, but all has to be tested in order to make sure it's her. So, the victim that died by the hands of Chapman, she had a condition before death. That condition, Vader syndrome. You ever heard of that? Vader syndrome. And she also had various congenital disabilities which affect the anus, the esophagus, the kidneys, and the vertebrae. She had various conditions and issues, right? It's believed that Chapman and Feeden met back in 2009 at a school for individuals who lived with disabilities. Also, her very close friends stated that she may not have known that Chapman, the man that killed her, right? She may not have known that he was a married man. That leads to death. To be involved with somebody that was married, right, before you came along, or however the situation played out with that, right, could in fact lead to death, because even that secrecy up under that, right? So Feeden had an on and off relationship. The victim had an on and off relationship with Chapman, her killer. Yet again, she may not have known he was married. That could have been the cause for say their relationship, any issues, and all the rest, right? Chapman's wife believed he was to attend a work trip. All the lying about where he was going and all the rest, right? He told his wife that he was to go on a work trip, right? Out in Nevada, in place of him meeting up for a photo shoot. He told her he was going on a work trip, but he didn't tell her any other details. That's how it goes, right? When you're cheating, right? He was meeting up with his victim. You wouldn't want to tell your wife, or would you, right? So he lied not only to his wife, but he lied to the victim as well. Because to not tell your wife that you were going to meet with a woman that you were involved with while you were married, right? Maybe that's why she's dead. Because you never know what even the victim said out of her mouth, or even if she found out he was married to begin with, right? Some women would want to leave in that sort of situation, right? But once again, he had to have lied to both of them, in which he did. I'm able to see through that. Because remember, I said the victim's close friend, once again, the victim's close friend said she may not have knew that he was married, right? But after she's dead, his wife is saying that he lied to her about him going on a work trip. So, dear viewers, what do you think played out? Could the victim have found out that he was a married man before she died, and maybe she had some words or miscommunication with him, right? And say he possibly could have been livid or gotten angry. The victim might have wanted to leave him or something, right? Or she might have said something else which could have led to him killing her. Think about it, right? Suspects have been known to do killers have been known to do all type of things for various reasons. He had his wife thinking he was going on that work trip, and yet he was going to meet up with her. Yes, the girlfriend or the romantic victim. He was going to meet up with her at a photo shoot, right? Chapman's wife said Chapman told him he had to kill the victim. That's not amazing, but that's kind of interesting in itself. Because what man in his right mind stands and tell his wife that he had? What man tells his wife that he was forced to kill another woman that he was involved with romantically, right? In the romance department, right? Chapman's wife once again said Chapman told her he had to kill the woman. He had to. She said that she didn't believe him at first. And also, too, ex-wife Kelly Murray of Chapman, his ex-wife as well, involved in a situation pertaining to her mouth and what was said on her own end, right? Not in the killing, just what she had to say, right? His ex-wife, Kelly Murray, she knew him to be a liar. She knew him to be a liar, and she went on to say that Chapman was involved in love with his victim while they were together. It's a lot going on there, because for him to be married and then he kills a victim. Read it again. Let me read it again real quick. That's what I do. That's what real writers do, right? Sitting on this screen. It's observant. It's observance day, dear viewers. That's funny in itself, right? But let me go back where I scribbled. I just jumped sentences. The ex-wife, Kelly Murray of Chapman, she knew him to be a liar, and she went on to say that Chapman was involved in love with the victim while they were together. So Chapman was involved with his own wife, and he was involved with the victim, right? But then the ex-wife, once again, I'm saying this for the third or fourth time, the ex-wife comes out her mouth and says that the victim, he was involved in love with the victim while they were together. Oh, that's enough, right? Okay, because that could have led to even more deeper issues, as in even her being killed, right? So Chapman's ex-wife stated that Chapman used up, that's to say even he had some type of secrets that even the woman, the victim, took to her grave or something, right? Chapman's ex-wife Murray also stated that Chapman used up the victim for every penny she had. Either this ex-wife was a scorned lover or a bitter lover, or she's telling the truth. One or the other. You're either scorned by the relationship that ended in you being an ex-wife, right? You're either scorned or torn apart or bitter in that, right? Or you're telling the truth about how he could be and how he can be. Chapman himself, right? The ex-wife speaking on him. Ex-wife of Chapman also feels suspicious over why he killed the victim, and not any of the surviving females, right? Did you get that, dear viewers? The ex-wife, Kelly, she in fact feels suspicious over why he killed the victim and not her or his current wife, which that makes you do question the secrecy aspect, as in, because you have to question what the victim might have said while the victim was alive in his presence, as in the reason for him saying he had to kill her. There was more to that, right? So his ex-wife Murray feels that the victim may have taken something to her grave. And I feel the same way, right? In which no one knows. And that being that Chapman could have killed another woman. His ex feel that Chapman might have killed another woman, and yet the victim might have known about it. Because see, to be an ex is to be an ex-wife, like Kelly is saying, is to know more about this man than say even we the public could know. Because to have laid and slept in the bed with him is to know, right? So she once again feels that he might have killed another woman, and the victim might have known, and that might be the reason why he killed her, and him saying he had to kill her, right? And if he did kill another woman, like the ex-wife is saying could have happened, whoever he might have killed, he might have had a love relationship with. No one knows why he killed her. No one knows the reason, right? Because to say you have to kill somebody is to say they had to have known something, right? Did I skip anything, dear viewers? So questions. What could Phelan have taken, that's the victim, what could the victim have taken to her grave in which Chapman himself didn't want anyone to know? Think about that. If he was known to be a liar by his ex-wife, if she's not bitter, saying that, right, and she's telling the truth, if he was known to be a liar, what could the victim have taken to her grave in which Chapman himself didn't want anyone to know? We'd be here all day. What could Chapman have did or done which was so wrong that he would have wanted that to stay and remain hidden, but not enough to kill his past wife or his current wife? Because a skip and jump and all the rest with that is to say something, right? Let me see, to kill a past wife. Not to kill a past wife, but to fail to kill a past wife. To not kill your past wife as in your ex-wife, and not kill your current wife as a say, well, that's a skip, hop, and a jump, right? You're skipping over people, and yet you went right for that victim. She was at the center, in a sense, right? I put her at the center. You got your ex-wife, and then you got your current wife. And yet you don't kill your ex-wife, and you don't kill your current wife, and that you kill the one in the center, as in, yes, the victim. Could the victim have been more trustable with Chapman's secrets? Maybe the victim was more trustable with his secrets than, say, his ex-wife and his current wife. Or something. Something went wrong with that situation. Some women are more secretive. Some women are willing to keep even more secrets, right? But if a woman don't want to stay and be there, as to say, she might in fact throw the secrets in your face, as in her telling you she wants to leave or something else, right? May she have been pregnant? That's to be taken into consideration as well. I just thought about that. Could the victim have been pregnant? I'm thinking up stuff on the spot. Because to know that a man is married and say he's involved with another woman is to say he's not going to want his wife to know and be told of that sort of thing. And yet if a baby is on the way by a woman, right, that you're creeping and sleeping with, is to say, well, if she gets knocked up, such as get pregnant, right, there's a likelihood of you paying child support or something else, or you're having to keep secrets with even that. So now if you're married and then you get a woman pregnant, that's to say either that situation, you don't know what the situation might be, you being a man, you could have a newborn baby coming on the way, right? Some people, men, have to pay child support. Not only that, they have to live a double life, right? Some people can't handle that sort of thing, as in it's too much stress on the brain, that now I'm gonna have a newborn as well as a woman, still keeping them in the dark, away from my wife. Some people have been known to kill their romantic lovers in situations like that. That way they don't have to pay child support or keep the child a secret, as well as the mother. They keep all that in the dark, right? So if Chapman was a known cheater, right? Remember that ex-wife said that he was involved with her or something while he was involved with the victim, as well as he was involved with the victim while he was with his current wife, right? That's to ask, maybe Chapman was cheating on the victim as well. Because to be stuck in your ways as you get older, to say you might in fact be still stuck in that, right? As a man that is known to cheat, if you was involved with your ex-wife while you were involved with the victim, and yet and here and now you killed the victim despite you being with your current wife, there's two different women, right? That's to say he more than likely was a cheater all around. It's to say even he could have been a cheater on the victim, right? Would she have wanted to stay or leave? Somebody in a relationship may or may not have wanted to be there or something, right? The ex, you have to really think it out logically. The ex-wife said that Kelly said that she felt that he was using up the victim for all her money before the victim became a victim. He was a user, as in using her all up for her money, right? And yet that's to ask, what could have happened if she would have ran out of money? Would he have wanted to kill her? Because to use somebody up, you're being a man, and you use up a woman for all her money, that's resources, and yet what do you do with her after all the money is gone, right? Do you get rid of her in the form of a dead body, or what do? Do you just walk away? Some people have been known to even kill or file for a divorce even though he wasn't married to her, but people have lost their lives over even money. Some people take money or have people robbed or all type of things, and then have them left for dead, right? Kill them and all the rest, right? Because to even take her as far, see, there's something wrong with it. To take it as far as he killed her, him saying he had to kill her, as well as after he killed her, you took off her clothes. She was already a victim. As in, he to bind somebody up, right? He already, there's something wrong with the story. You was already involved with this woman, more than likely had sex and everything else with her despite you being a married man, right? And yet she died by ways of suffocation. I stated that, right? He took off her clothes. Let's go back. After she died by ways of suffocation, right? He took off her clothes after taking off the bindings, and then he left. If a man has had access with a woman's body numerous times before, is to ask, what is the point of taking off her clothes as well as taking off her bindings? Maybe that was a setup or something to make it perceived as if she was raped by somebody or something, right? To suffocate a person Let me go all the way back. So the photo shoot. Let's go all the way back to the photo shoot. Chapman used the photo shoot as a way to kill the victim. Chapman abused her before her death by binding her to a sign. Tied her to a sign, he covered both her mouth and nose with duct tape, right? She died by ways of suffocation. And after she died, he took off her clothes and then took off her bindings. You tied her to a sign. You tied her to a sign. Because see, that's a long time for this man to have been with this woman and around her since like 2009. That's a whole 10 years. Wait a minute. As in, the story is much more deeper than what I'm speaking on. I'm saying for how long he knew her, that's a bit long. I mean, over a course of span of years, how long he knew this woman, right? Pertaining to him binding her to a sign and taking off her clothes and all, is something missing. You don't lure somebody, right? Let me pause. You don't know somebody for a few years, lure them to a photo shoot, right? Tie them to a sign, as in bind them to a sign, duct tape their mouth, kill them, and then leave them without their clothes. There's something not right, or something. Because once again, the time difference and the years, that for him, it's an offset, something in the story or something is missing. Because see, look, this man supposedly knew the victim and met her back in 2009. Remember, this is 2019. He has had years involved with her, right? From 2009 is during the time period when he met her, and yet this is 2019 right now, right? The luring more than likely was the setup. The photo shoot, that was the point I'm trying to figure out as in scope in. The luring of him killing her at the photo shoot, more than likely that was the point and position to set up the killing, right? The binding or something, that was in a sense to set it up, or something to make it look like, or something like another grown man had something to do with it and not you. Possibly, right? Because the reason why I'm trying to figure out right here and analyzing is because that's a little bit too long to be close to her. And the point of he could have slit her throat or something. Does that make sense, right? Or broke her neck or something, right? But to be taking all her clothes off, he already done had her body and everything else. Is to say something more is with that. Taking off her clothes after you killed her, right? Taking off her clothes. You took off her clothes. There's something, I don't know. Because if a man was involved around, I know I'm repeating for the 10th time, right? Because he has been around her for like 9 or 10 years. So he was very close to her, pertaining to her body, as in possibly having her sexually and more, right? That's a little bit too close with even the way how he set it up or something. That's why I said maybe he took off her clothes and make it look like it was more distance in it, the murder or something. To make it look like, once again, for the third, fourth time, to make it look like it was another male that killed her and not him. Because to be a male involved with a female like that, right, despite you being a married man, right, knowing somebody since 2009, to be involved with them is to say you had sex with them, right? And yet to kill them elsewhere is to kill them outside of your property, which is a point of luring them wherever you lured them to the photo shoot, right? That's off your property. That's not your home and all the rest, right? And yet to remove her clothes, that's gonna push everything away from you. Because what that points in, once again, is to rape or something. When you think about it, and yet once police, when it comes to the rape kit and all the rest, right, trying to figure out and scope out what could have happened, if it shows no rape there, possibly, you never even know what that sort of thing, right? But when it points, say if it doesn't point in with rape, right, the accused do things all type of ways to prevent themselves to be found guilty and all the rest, right? Hold on. Let me pause. (2009). Yeah. Because see, I don't know. I don't see the point if you knew her, because see that you're very personal, as in, does that make sense? To know somebody since 2009 is to say I've known them very well on a personal level, as in how they're going to behave, their reaction, how they're going to put up a fight with me, how they're going to respond to me in anger, how they're going to do anything with their hands, and is in you being adjusted in the same environment with them. That's what I'm not getting, the point of tying her up, as in binding her and duct taping her and taking her clothes off after death. Because see, if you already know her body movements and how she could move, that's to say over a years of span from 2009 up until the present moment, is to say you would have known her response to even her taking even your reactions in anger, even if she wanted to fight back. Because to be that close to somebody for that many years is to say you probably would never need to bind them or duct tape them to begin with. That's where I'm seeing something is wrong with the story. Something is wrong with the story, unless it goes back or points back to the fact of the evidence, as in you're once again making it look like somebody else would have did it. Because binding all that, and you're binding her and then removing that, is to throw it on the floor, whatever you binded her to or did the binding with, to tie her up to a sign like he did, right? That points in with evidence, that points it away from you as well, right? That could make it look like she met up with a stranger anytime, any day. Yeah. As well as the removing of clothes. A lot of that can point in with stranger activity, but it just, yeah, removal of clothes like that just always makes me think of rape or something, right? So that's to say he set that up pretty good or something, but not completely, because to be in jail and all the rest is to say you didn't know what you were fully doing or something. So let's see. What could have been special about the victim that would have made him want to kill her? What made her so special? What made her so different? Right? Because he treated her different than everybody else, right? All this promotion, my brain. I was checking, yeah, with that data. Okay, so she had to have been some special something, right? Because even special stands in killing someone as well. Somebody could be very special to you, enough to want to leave you, and you kill them, right? There's something. So moral of the story is they may have not met online, and yet be careful who you meet online, and never get involved with anyone online if they don't show you their face. I tell that to people time and time again. I have 2 YouTube accounts, and not only that, I'm outside on social media, right? And I don't like to really conversate with people that is not willing to show me their face. As in, I'm not going to get all personal with you all like that. If you're not willing to show me your face, I have issues with that type of thing, because people, it's all type of stuff. See what I'm saying? I just don't be on that type of stuff, because for this man to stand and pretend like I'm able to see into that, as in read into who's pretending even online. I can tell. I'm not gonna say how I can tell, but when people say pretend online and act like this and that and all that, and they trying to push up on you and all the rest, is to say I can, yes, read into even that sort of thing, right? But when it comes to yeah, that's the only disadvantage about being online, right? As in how people do things, right? But homicide charges are pending on Chapman. He was to be charged with obstructing the administration of law, charged with kidnap and criminal use of communication facility. I'm willing to conversate online. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm speaking on people that is into killing and all that. I can't really get into stuff like that, which is why I'm into, what I'm into, to speak against certain things, because I don't like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Some of these individuals get killed, and it's for the wrong reasons. And yet, me, I don't want to be bothered with that. Yet, a lot of that, in fact, goes on Facebook. You just don't know it's there. People be involved in Facebook groups on Facebook and all the rest, right? Doing all type of things and on the apps and all type of stuff. Who has time for that type of stuff? To get your mind right. So, once again, homicide charges are pending on Chapman. He was to be charged with obstructing the administration of the law, kidnap, and criminal use of communication facility. Charges are pending because of identifying the victim's body. There's more into it, right? The Bethel Park Police Department is where that information can be found. You have to precisely identify someone with that, right? Yeah, I don't like stuff like that. As in, I'm totally in disagreement with that sort of thing. I think this is all to be. See my hair? I have to braid it back. It's a time and a place for even that, right? Braiding hair is growing back. It's on the way. I don't have time for that type of stuff, right? My hair isn't the dealing with that. I'm married to my hair in evidence, and yet I don't even want to be a part of that process, as in being bothered with it. Can I move this over? So we are in fact on ID investigationdiscovery.com. The ID logo stands right here in the far left corner, right? But yeah, I have in fact a love-hate relationship with my hair, as in we're in fact married, and yet there is no time and place to even be bothered at times with even that. As in, my hair is known to cheat on me with even split ends. Think about it. There's no romance in that. So yes, we're on investigation discovery.com. The ID logo I just showed you, right, is pronounced with that, as in where we standing. New episodes. To gain access is to click right here. That is in fact padlocked down, as in you have to provide who you're subscribed to. Unlocked episodes. To receive an audio preview is to visual preview is to click the play button right here, and you in fact be greeted with that sort of thing, as in there's a play button for that, right? Various ones. Unlock series recommended for you. Shouts out to Lieutenant Joe Kenda as well as Paula. ID Go original series. There's always some disappearance. As in, I'm a ghost for discovery, and maybe there's a ghost that's been ushered on this. Because things tend to disappear and then reappear, right? To receive a newsletter from Investigation Discovery is to type your email address in and click next. I'm in fact sitting on the next button. My face is, as well as everything else. And yet it's not in drag. The way I talk in videos is in drag. As in, there's a tonality with that, how you discuss murder and all the rest, crime. You don't talk uplifted and all the rest, right? There's sciences with even that sort of thing. As in, I was going to say vocality. Right? How you say things. Speaking on stories like this, you want to talk in a sense the way that I'm talking. You might want to add a little bit vibrancy to your voice, right? And yet you don't want to sound too lifted, because I said before, various videos back, I think that was last year, you kind of almost want to sound lifeless in a sense when you're talking on death and crime. You don't want to sound exciting. As in, when I do Janet Jackson promotion and all the rest, you don't want to sound exciting like over there with that type of promotion. You don't want to bring that type of stuff here and have it all amped up and all the rest, right? That those two things don't go together. There's a switching it off, I'm saying. Because to know that that's music and promotion is to say that's full of life, right? And yet to be in the dark with death and crime is to speak just the way that I'm speaking. I think somebody called that out before. When they said you drag or tone, your tone drags, that's how you do it, right? You don't want to ever be with that act speech therapy. It's funny and yet it's not, right? There's a flatness in tone, as in it shouldn't be, because if I sound too bouncy and bounce effect and uplifted like a Janet Jackson and exciting and all that, that's gonna be a call out to me, as in people gonna call me out. Your vocal theme doesn't match the layout, right? The tone and the way that I speak sounds dry, bland, and boring, right? It in fact should, right? And yet if I was too hype and amped up, like how it is with Janet Jackson promotion, right, people would indeed call me out. That's too jolly in effect, and that's too excited, and you need to tone that down or something, right? There's some people don't understand with even that sort of thing. So let me know what you think and feel about the video in the comment section, dear viewers. I'm signing off for now. I think that's all to be said for now. Let me check something before I sign off. Ooh, these headphones be hurting my ears at times. They in fact do. Right. Show enough. Let me end this video. So, dear viewers, I'm going to enjoy my day. May you, in fact, enjoy yours. And I'll see you guys on another day. And I'm gone for now.